Hey, did it? You think I can fix this here boat with this wrench?
I think so. How's it going there, YouTube? So it has been quite a while since I made a video. It was before 2020, but we're back. Finna be making a lot of videos. So I'm gonna show you a little bit about what we got going on today. This is Alex's boat. Mine is in the shop. And these boats, back in the day, I believe they still do it today. I don't know. We'll find out sooner or later. But there's the cranking battery over there. And it has no switch to turn that battery off. So there's power going to the dash, electronics, all that. No switch to turn that off. The trolling motors, they put these two breakers up under here. That's if something goes wrong, those should trip. However, we don't believe in that. So today on Alex's boat, we're putting in a single pole switch for the cranking battery and the outboard, electronics, all that. So when you turn that switch off, the only thing that'll be hooked to that battery is the charger. Then we have this switch, which is a 2-pole switch that will be connecting those two batteries, the trolling batteries, going to those breakers underneath there. So that when you turn that off, the only thing hooked to them two batteries is the charger. But while he's doing that, on a separate note, my dad has a garden, and he's old school. He goes out there and turns on the valve to water his garden. But we're gonna try to get him up to date. So we got him a controller. He only wanted 2 zones, so that's why we're giving him 3, because he probably forgot one, or he'll want to add one. Either way, we got some heads, we got some stuff to hook it up, and I'm about to show you how I build these to make them fit in them boxes. All right, so basically here's what we got. It's not all set up, but there's our valves. Biggest thing you gotta be careful of on these valves is they have an arrow. That's where water has to go through. So this side is coming from your water supply. That side's going to the sprinkler. So we got this stuff thread taped up, fixing to tighten all this down. And then we're gonna basically glue all the manifold together. This will be the valve that'll be mounted right here to, it doesn't matter which way you put this valve, this is just a gate valve is all this is. But we're gonna have it right here so that if you ever have to service these, you can turn the water off right there. So that's that. And then once we get it built, we're gonna start drilling some holes in that box and show you getting it mounted in there. They give you this center line on this box for mounting your valves, and we're going to drill our holes for our outgoing pipes just below it, but we'll show you that in a minute.
Hey, did it?
All right, so there's our manifold after it's been put together. All of these pipes between the T's and the connectors are 1.5 inches long. The pipes that are between the T's are 3 inches long. This is just a little 6-inch stub as a spare in case you ever want to add another valve. It can be cut off 3/4 of an inch past that T, have a new valve assembly, slide it right on there, good to go. So all this is already fitted together. 1.5 inches between this T and this 90, 1.5 inches between the two 90s, 3 inches between this 90 and this connector to our gate valve, 3 inches between here and here, 3 inches between there and down. And this basically is where our water is going to come in from the supply. So the water will come in there. You got your gate valve here in case you ever need to service it. Go through the valves. And then you have these plugs right here. If it's going to be freezing temperatures, just take these plugs out. And when you do that, that'll allow all the water to backflow from the sprinklers and run out here so that you don't have to worry about your pipes freezing. And then when it's warm enough, you just put them back in there and turn your system back on and you're good to go. So now comes the hard part of getting that to fit in that box. So you got to get it up there, and then we got to figure out where those holes are and drill holes for those 3 pipes, and then 1 hole down here for our incoming pipe. I'll show you how we do that in just a minute. Alright, so when it comes to drilling that hole and getting them pipes in there, those are basically on the bottom over there. We're going to stay up about 1 inch from the bottom of the box with the bottom of the 90. So that puts this one on this side basically right below that line. There's a center line right there, you can see. It's going to put our incoming pipe just a little bit below that line. So now we're going to take our drill and look inside at where that 90 is. Like right there is where it's at. And we're going to be just below that line. And we're going to drill us a little 1/4 inch hole right there and see if it lines up. Right where my finger is. Alright, so I drilled that hole with a 1/4 inch. I stuck a screwdriver in there. And just using it for an alignment tool. And looks like that's going to be about perfect. Could move out to the outside just a hair, but just line it up, figure out where you need to be, and drill your hole through there, and you'll be good. So I actually flipped it upside down, made this much easier to drill. Remember, that's our incoming going to our valve, and that's our 3 outgoings. This over here is where we head for the spare valve, and that is if you have to have 8 valves, you can just come out of there and go into the next box to hit 4 more valves. Remember, this is completely upside down. We've got to turn it back up right now. All right, we got her put together and standing upright. Here's the input. Went ahead and put a female hose adapter on here for right now. Not sure if this is going to be connected with a hose or if he's going to cut it and tie it in hard pipe. I would recommend cutting it and putting a couple on, tying in with hard pipe, but for our testing purposes I put that on there so we can do what we need to do. There's that pipe we were talking about future. You'd essentially have the same setup right here for another valve box if need be. And here is our output 1, output 2, and output 3. So now we glued all this stuff together, and we want to flush all these lines. We want to get all this, any PVC glue or PVC pieces, whatever, we want to flush them out this future line so that they don't get in our valves and cause them to mess up. So we're just going to open our gate valve, and we should start seeing water come out the other end. And just like magic, there it goes. So now we're able to flush this system, and then once we flush it, we're going to put a cap on that for now. And FYI, you use whatever PVC glue you want to use, but we believe in that heavy duty clear PVC cement. Holds really, really well. So do what you want to, but we're going to flush this out and then get that capped off, and then we'll start talking about, actually it'll be a second video as far as wiring the valves and wiring the controller. So as far as this video, it's pretty much over. We're going to flush this, cap that, and then we're done with that. Be a link in the description for the next video about programming the controller and wiring it up. Thank you.